Bear with me a moment as I'm just checking some featurettes. Okay. We are live. I am Savage Squishy86, and we are back resuming our live stream coverage of Bloodborne. I hope everyone has had a wonderful Christmas and have a exuberantly exciting amount of New Year's plans. Fortunately, I had a little bit of a break there where I had to sort of take a break from it because I was not well. I actually got sick. But thankfully I am feeling marginally pretty good. So we're going to be getting back into this with our playthrough of Bloodborne. So we'll first go ahead and jump right into our character where we left off last time. Which I believe, if I remember it right, we left off with wrapping up the sectional of the Chalice dungeons that we had originally set out to do. We pretty much accomplished that and set up a slew of other Chalice dungeons. And to my favor, we actually were lucky enough.
Oh, Lawrence, what's taking you so long?
I'm not sure why we're hearing Lawrence. Oh, okay. He should. Okay, so what we just heard there was Gurman, who apparently has a bug where he is invisible, but he's usually supposed to be outside, not inside here. So, but as you can see, we pretty much had that encounter. So what we did last time, what we ran off with, was basically we did the Chalice dungeons. We did not exactly get very far with those, as I would have liked, but I have decided to move on with the continuation of the Forbidden Woods. We pretty much found our way into Yosefka's clinic and pretty much made our presence there known. And we also made our measure to go about getting to the Nightmare Frontier. So, pretty much in that respect, we pretty much have set the stand for that particular, plateau of work to be done. But all things considered, we're going to get back into the fulcrum of the main story of the game, which is really what I really want to put my full attention at present. So right away, we're going to go ahead and just change a few pieces of gear because I really want to go into this with my best foot forward in terms of strength. So, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and immediately go to the Forbidden Woods and get ourselves into the next stage of the story as far as with this game's first playthrough. We did not give our fullest attention to the Forbidden Woods as we found a deviation that took us back in a cave system back the way we came to Central Yarnum. So we're going to go ahead and continue our sweep of the Forbidden Woods now. Now it's pretty self-explanatory. We can get some easy echoes here at this point, so that's exactly what I plan to do. Not particularly monumental in number, but enough to where it will be sufficient to get us what we need. And the good thing is we will have the favor of starting wherever we choose. Nice try. take this chance to give ourselves some blood bullets, and then we'll get to the next stage of it. I got a terrible itchy rash on my inside arm. I may need to get some hydrocortisone cream. That is incredibly annoying. Once we've dispatched the beast hunter, we're gonna go ahead and just run and jump and take out Big Boy. Villagers are pretty straightforward. Obviously, we pretty much should know. If you haven't really learned them yet, then yeah, it goes back to Central Yarnman practice. Just to sort of get your groove on in that capacity to where you can actually perform adequately. As you get further along, their numbers will increase, and like I said earlier, there was a significant number of them that were significant, that were in ambush positions, if you remember from my previous playthrough, part 6, I believe. Now, if you recall, I was not going to take this route over here. Oh, that hurt. I was not going to take this route over here because obviously, like I said before, if you step on these planks, they will collapse and you'll fall into that fixed area. You will have no other place to go except forward. But the reason why I'm taking the left route is because there is ambush opportunities where we can exploit, which is exactly what I intend to do. Ambush opportunities are always the ripe of success in many cases, so you want to use them when you can. Unfortunately, as you will find up here, most of the cages that were holding the dogs have been opened, and now they are roaming free, so your element of surprise is no longer assured. But the dogs are no longer really much of a match anyway with the single swipe of your saw spear weapon. Saw spear, saw cleaver, whatever you want to use. So, I'm basically just going to go through, like I usually did the first time when I did this on part 6, and pretty much go with the presence of just neutralizing any threats I can for the measure of getting echoes, resources, whatever the case may be. Proceed around through these trunks carefully, and you will have an ambush opportunity on the Snatcher here, lying in wait. Now, I want to go back this way, and I want to draw your attention to a particular opportunity of interest. So down below, you will notice a few things. Number one, you'll notice that there's 3 threats in the middle of that village. That path directly going behind them is actually the path that I believe it's either here or there. One of these paths is where that drop was, which is why I didn't want to take that, because up here we have other targets that are going to be bombarding us with attacks in the form of Molotov cocktails and gunshots. All things considered, the moat below us is also oil-laced, so the fire damage we suffer would actually be amplified. It is essentially a death trap. We don't really want to be caught in that ambush point, especially with no real means of escape when we're being pelted by enemies from above. So, over here, I want to go back down here real quick to that door, and I want to show you that behind this cabin here, there's also a gunman lying in wait, which will come out when he hears the fighting. and you want to avoid that as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this attack to deal with all these threats. We're going to do it in a reverse order, and by reverse order, we're going to take the enemies from the up out first. So right away, you're gonna find a few things here. You're gonna find relatively 3 or 4 threats, which is where we're going to go about taking them down first. So right away, we're gonna head over here. There's another one there I almost missed. So after dispatching that enemy, this one ahead of us on the right is going to be aware, but I don't think he'll get us before we impale this one. So we'll take advantage of this and deal with him. The one ahead of us there will see us. This one over here will not do much of anything. But we will take the opportunity to dispatch him. His Molotovs will not reach us at this range, and if they do, they'll be stopped by the tree branches that are blocking their path. So oh, that particular instance, it didn't. Okay. The tree branches, obviously those ones weren't stopping them, but here it seems like these work, so we'll have to just time our dodges with the throwing of his Molotovs. Now that we've taken care of the Molotovs, there's no need to worry about them anymore. Head back the way you came, and underneath these bird cages here, slightly down and to the left. Oh, actually, there's nothing there. Okay, I thought there would be a body there with I think this is what I'm confusing it with, is this point right here. So here on this shack, you're gonna have this roof outcrop. Go ahead and drop down on it and grab the 11 Molotov bodies off it. Now, down below us, we will have some animated corpses. Because they are oil enriched in this river, they're highly flammable, so we'll go ahead and destroy them with relative ease. So we'll just, done. Now, as you can see, this is exactly the reason why I wanted to avoid getting pelted by those assholes with the Molotovs, because this would have been a sure death trap. So, but with that being said, these enemies are now neutralized, and we're on the right side of the village, which is actually above us is where we started our vantage point. So we will go ahead and circle around to the left here. And then here, on this inside of this little cropping here of this cabin, what we want to do is get this enemy's attention here. Want to lure him away from the others. Easy work for a dispatch. Go ahead, and this will attack him and take him down. And then with him being neutralized, you will have the opportunity to grab the blood vials off his body and then head further along into the back. This is actually the area where that little drop point is up there. So this is pretty much where we would end up, just to make a note of it in the event you get lost. Now here, in this cabin here, I'm not sure, I think we can smash it open? Or not, I don't think so. Okay. What we can do is over here, we're going to go in here and we'll dispatch these 3 enemies. On the one, we'll get 3 quicksilver bullets. There's a corpse on the left, which is pungent blood cocktails. Those will be handy for the future fight that we'll have to deal with. On the corpse here, you'll find blood vials as well as this 2 enemies. One here in the form of these villagers, one playing possum, and the other one trying to act like he's taking down Frankenstein. Now, with those being dispatched, we'll have these two here to deal with, which will get their attention. I don't want to fight them in the distance of the riflemen. So after we dispatch them, now we'll go take care of that rifleman, who will come out to greet us. And you'll grab quicksilver bullets off him. And then inside the cabin, he was pretty much standing outside. We should find something else in here. I guess not. That's disappointing. I thought there was something in here. No, here it is. My mistake. Ignore that. I was right the first time. Here it is. Inside this further house, further in the back, you'll find beast blood pellet on this corpse. And then we will proceed to the center of this drop where these enemies were, and we will drop down into a area below, a little pit trap. Kill the 3 crows that are lying in wait down here, and then grab the antidote off of the corpse at the bottom of this little pit. Now, once we've gone through all of that circus, we're going to find the position where we lured the beast man into this little hole, and in here on the left you'll find more pungent blood cocktails. And you'll also find a gate. We cannot open the gate from the side right now, so we're going to have to find another way to get around. But this is just a shortcut, so let's go find that path that'll lead us to. So immediately retrace your steps back to the moat. Oh. Kill the corpse that we left behind. And then immediately here on the left, we'll have a beast man. He will drop us some blood vials, and then on the tree, on the corpse by the tree, you'll find 2 twin bloodstone shards. Now, before we go any further, we're going to go across. That's the way we're going to go, but we're going to go across and into this little cavern, where we'll find another twin bloodstone shard on 2 bodies each, and open the door. This will take us in safety. Now we can actually take about Jake and that drop point over here, and it'll take us directly to this shortcut, which will enable us to bypass a proportionate number of all those threats. Unless you're going to be farming for echoes, you don't necessarily have to fight them anymore. So right away, as soon as we get to this point, we're going to go real slow because you want to be careful of the guy at the end of that that's going to have a cannon fire. Oh. And the rifleman above us. So, bypass the threats. Let them chase you. Deal with the rifleman. And the other huntsman with the shield. In the distance, you will see a single villager with a cannon. So we're going to basically want to avoid that shot of the cannon. But we're going to have multiple room houses we can duck into for cover. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to duck into the house on the right. Obviously, it's not a house. I thought it was a house. Ah, what a waste of a shot. What we will do is go ahead and run across, and immediately Once we get across here, take care of the rifleman and the other Chernobog enemy. We're gonna head across, and inside here we'll have a series of things in our way. Smash them down and then go through. Then smash that one down and go through. And now we're in the other house. And then over here, we will find, right here, we just ran past, more blood vials. So now we have another shortcut. This will enable us to move undercover without being killed. Overhead, we're going to have another house we'll run into, which is going to be further up. We're just waiting for the cannon to fire. There we go, cannon fired. And we are running to take care of more villagers. Equally playing possum, and then in the distance over here we're gonna have a huntsman with a plow. So be careful, get rid of him. Plow will kill you if you don't remember my previous death at the hands of this asshole in the Cathedral Ward early in the playthrough. Grab the beast blood pellet and whatever the huntsman drops. And then head out and go left. Around before he fires off that cannon the second time. Another time. Not second time. He did it more than the second time now. So, now that we pretty much have navigated our way to this windmill, we're basically going to go ahead in here. But before we do that, let's walk over here, around the corner, and we will find Twin Bloodstone Shard on this body. Inside, we will encounter a new threat in the form of the Snake Pit, or the Viper Head, I believe is his name. Unique enemy that is a villager with a mask on his head, but once he sees you, his head explodes and a bunch of snakes come out like something from Greek mythology. So right away we're going to go ahead and just go ahead and get started with this by equipping our saw spear like usual. And here in the distance we can see one of the little bastards there. I will not draw his attention quite just yet because we have another place where we have another arrangement where you have to descend upon. There's also a few items in this room of significance we're going to grab. So we're going to ignore him for now and proceed out the way he came. So upon exiting the windmill, we're going to drop down here. There's a little huntsman with another plow. Go ahead and deal with him. Grab the Twin Bloodstone Shard he drops. I want to take this moment to draw your attention to two key areas of interest that we're going to be going about visiting. Obviously I can only probably see the one right now, and that is going to be a boss area that we're going to be contending with. But the key point of interest I want to draw your attention to is the School of Byrgenwerth. That is our destination. That little observatory looking building on the lake. That's our destination. So that's where we're heading. So to get there though, we're going to have to go through the woods. So we're going to make our way there. But to do that, we're going to have to go a little bit further and collect a few little knickknacks along the way. So go ahead and ascend the ladder after you've dispatched the huntsman and took in the sights. If you still can't see, it's really dark in here. If you can't see too good, it's okay. Just use your torch and use your lantern. We're going to make another trip up and around. First, we're going to go ahead and drop down here because there's something of importance we're going to need. So we're going to drop down here, and we're going to grab the cannon. Obviously, it goes without saying, it pretty much is exactly what its name implies. It is a cannon. It is a giant, huge cannon, but it is one that does a huge pulverizing power shot. Downside with this is this actually uses a proportionally huge amount of your Quicksilver bullets. namely half. So if you're going to use this, I would only recommend using this if you have a really good blood tinge build, or if you're going to use this, you have a good visceral attack play style where you get quicksilver bullets back. This is extremely powerful, but it's extremely expensive. So we'll continue with that little endeavor when we cross that bridge in the future. So instead, what we're going to do is head over here. Up above us is where we want to go back to again, so we're going to go ahead and drop down again and go back the way we came. Try to use something to drop on to break your fall, that way you don't take as much damage in your fall. And then head back up. Also, I figured I would share that I had my job interview, so I'm waiting to hear back on them. They're doing a background check right now, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I won't have to wait much longer. On the body, we'll find some poison knives. We're going to need those. So right away, I'm going to draw your attention to a new threat. This is actually a significant story element too. Over here in the body, you'll find poison knives, and we're going to go ahead and equip those poison knives for good reason, I might add. So bear with me here. And the reason why I'm going to say we're going to equip them is this little son of a bitch right over here. As you can see, there is a series of people that are dead, and if you look around at the camera arc, if you angle the camera, he's basically eating the corpse, because he's a monster, he's a beast, but he looks human, so we're going to go ahead and talk to him.
Blimey, don't scare me like that. On a night like this, I took you for a monster. Oh, thank the stars, you're fairly normal. Was it you who put down that awful beast? Ooh, that thing had me trembling, frozen in my boots. And then you came along. Well, if you're a hunter, then would you know of any safe havens?
Now, at this point, you can do one of two options. There's one of three options you pretty much have in this encounter with this beggar or patient or whatever you want to call him. I'm not sure. I don't really know his name per se, but if you send him to Odin Chapel, he will go to the chapel where all the survivors are. He will not enter, though. The incense wards him from going in. But what he will do is he will begin systematically killing the survivors one by one by one. We don't want that. So what we're going... I mean, we could do that in a later playthrough if we want to. But we're not going to do that. Instead, what we're going to do, we could send her to Yosefka's clinic, in which we'll get the beast blood pellet as a reward for killing him. But since we've already dispatched Yosefka, we won't really get that privilege either. We'll do that in another playthrough. But what we will do is withhold the information, and then we're going to kill him. Because we will get a rune from killing him, and we will also get some good rewards as well, as he will turn into a type of unique monster we will only encounter in the Chalice dungeons. So we're going to go ahead and withhold the information.
I should have known. This whole place is falling apart once again. It's the curse of Yharnam.
So we're going to go ahead and just go right behind him. Son of a bitch. Eating those families. What's wrong with you?
Have you got a screw loose? Or is it your animal intuition? You hunters have got more blood on your hands.
Now, the reason I'm using poison blood is he's actually very vulnerable to poison.
Hunters are killers, Stephanus! You call me a beast? Ransom beasts, last ones.
So once we've killed his ass, he'll drop us the beast rune, which we already had the level 3 beast rune, but this is level 2. So we will have that privilege available to us now. But what we will also do is we pretty much can either drop down here and go about the measure of going back around, or we can go about the effort of seeking... Alright, we don't really have another... Well, we could go back inside. I think that's what we'll do. And basically, we'll just go down the way we were. Pretty much making our way down here the way we were before. So once we get to this point, we're going to come up right behind this guy. And if you notice carefully at his head, it's writhing, so there's pretty much the snake pit, a snake head is basically inside there. So we're just going to go ahead and hit him from the rear, visceral attack him, and that'll kill him outright. He'll drop a tempering blood gemstone, and then on the body we will also find Madman's Knowledge. And then down here to the left, we will find a ladder, or an elevator, I should say, excuse me. And this will take us back up. This is actually from a lower level of the woods, in a sort of like a hill going down. So we can't access it yet. We have to navigate further into the woods. This is basically a shortcut. So we'll go ahead and navigate our way through the woods a little more. Now, I will put on my medicine because these enemies, the snake enemies, will do poison damage to you, so you want to be careful with that. We have it already on. Okay, good. So right away, we'll head out here. Get ourselves some blood bullets. Check around the tree. Nothing. I think it's around this tree, though. Nope, not that tree either. Okay. I could have sworn there was one with a tree element around it. Ah, there's a snake pit. So you can pretty much visceral attack them. You don't have to worry about the snakes attacking you when you stun them. But you really want to try to get the attack on them early on, you know, whether it's an axe throw or they use a snake attack. Now, in this woods, it is going to get very confusing and you're going to get lost, probably easily. So what we're going to do is we're going to equip ourselves with some coins and try to keep a tab of where we've been, just to make sure so that we don't get lost. And then we're also going to change our threaded cane for our rifle spear, because these enemies are technically kin and they're vulnerable to beast attacks. No, I think, excuse me, I misspoke. They're typically beasts, but they also are vulnerable to thrust attacks. There, I said it right. So right away off the start, you cross that bridge. You got to come up on this slope and follow up here. That elevator there will take us to the left to our next quest. But before we ascend it, we're going to go ahead and grab the twin bloodstone shards off this corpse back here. And then before we go further into the woods, we're going to open up our next quest with the Confederates hunting vermin. So, after exiting the elevator, enter this chamber, and here you will find the antidote, and then over here we will have...
Ah, a new face, are you? And an accomplished hunter, it would appear. I am Volter.
Walter,
Master
that's his name.
of the League. Members of the League cleanse the streets of all the filth that's spread about during the hunt. Like any half-decent hunter ought to, you know? Haven't you seen enough of these wretched beasts? Freakish slugs and mad doctors. Sentence these fiends to death with the help of your League confederates. What do you say? Why not join the League?
So when the Vaulter asks you to join, you're going to join him.
As a hunter well should. Commit this to heart. Our own Carol rune, symbol of the League.
So with that, we'll get the Impurity Carol rune from him. Now, when we have this on in co-op, two things will happen. One, we will have an improved co-op health element, which will give our players, fellow teammates, fellow hunters, additional sliver of health. Second thing it'll do is if we kill any bosses, the bosses will drop vermin, which we can use, much like the blood dregs, to give them to Queen Annalisa, the Vile Bloods, to get higher in the Vile Blood Registry. This will get us higher in the some sort of a Confederate registry, I think is what it is. So
The night brims with defiled scum and is permeated by their rotten stench. Just think, now you're all set to hunt and kill to your heart's content. Hunt in cooperation with your fellows, your League Confederates.
So once we speak to him again,
There is one thing you must know. By the oath of the League, those who bear its rune will see vermin. Vermin writhe deep within all filth and are the root of man's impurity. All vermin are to be crushed. The League exists to expunge all vermin, ridding us of any trace of human corruption. And so, until we are rid of all vermin, you must continue to hunt and kill. This bloody fate is ours alone. Do not expect the world to grasp our work. But remember, the Confederates will always have my blessing. And each other. Always. The League exists, and so, this bloody do not expand.
so pretty much what this entails now is we have to crush up to 5 vermin. So go to your inventory and you will find you have some already from helping those other teammates that we have actually encountered on and off. So where is it? There it is. 5 vermin already. So go ahead and throw it down and crush it. Stomp right on it. Very gross. I love doing this. Looks like a little worm with a centipede, or a bit of both. I'm not sure. Let me look. Let me look at it. Yeah, little bloody centipede. I love it. Just hear that thing squish and crunch like it's got bones. So once we pretty much have crushed 5 vermin, we pretty much will have honored the quest line. And this quest is probably one of the easiest quests ever, is Vulture's quest.
The League exists. They do not end.
Now, pretty much at this point, we can go out here and exit this door, which will take us back to here. So we'll head back to the Hunter's Dream, because we actually need to do that in order to excel Vulture's quest. We could talk to her. We don't really have a lot in the way of blood echoes, though, to make ourselves stronger. So we're just going to burn these and use them for something else. Matter of fact, let me see. I think I got a cannon now, so we don't need that. Hunter's Torch, we don't need that. Just keeping tabs on what I do and do not have as of yet. So I don't think there's really much else we need. I guess we'll just keep it. We'll hold on to it until we get more for a bang for our buck. So go back to the Forbidden Woods. instead of engaging those threats, we're going to just go ahead and make a measure of just getting ourselves to the state where we just basically make way for us, bro. So go over here and talk to Volter again after you crush those vermin.
Ah, very good. You've crushed some vermin. I'm the master of the League, I can see it in your eyes. I'm pleased. This makes you a true fellow of the League. A Confederate. Now, take this stuff. A symbol of our oath. Of our blood-drenched fate.
Now, the League staff is basically exactly that. It is the... Much like how we had the Vile Blood Registry, the League staff is the Confederate Registry. This will keep tabs on how you are in the leaderboards. The more vermin you kill, the more you go up in the ranks. The more players you kill for the Vile Bloods with the Vile Blood Registry, the more higher in the ranks you go. So they're basically leaderboards, essentially for those distinct two factions. So you want a cooperative play with the Confederates. If you want a PvP, play with the Vile Blood. And you get the League Oath Taunt Rune.
You'll be welcomed as a true Confederate. Go forth with renewed vigor. In short time, you will see how the mission takes hold of one's spirits.
After that conversation, have another conversation with them.
Your eyes say it all. You've crushed vermin time and time again. You've seen the filth that varnishes the world of man. Yet, you are unbroken. You've the eyes of a hunter. You have blessed the League with your presence. This was my last, most pressing task.
Now, pretty much the first 2 or 1 vermin you kill will be the previous conversation. When you kill all 5 vermin, you get that conversation, which will lead you into this conversation, effectively closing out his role and his quest line.
My Confederate, promise me you'll crush all vermin to rid us of our impurities for the sake of our fellows. All blood-stained hunters of the League. My Confederate for the sake...
And then with that being said, we're going to leave him again. Upon returning to the Hunter's Dream, we're going to go ahead and head back to the Forbidden Woods again. You have a lot of this with this particular quest line, but it's kind of a necessity so it can progress. I mean, you could go on with the rest of the mission story and get through that quest line easier in that regard, but I think it's just more productive and faster to just basically go through that process and do it in that way. So we'll go ahead and get inside, and we will see that he is gone, and in his place he have last the Master's Helm, which is in effect just a fucking a bucket with a hole on his head. So if you can hear the footsteps, that's because a new threat has arrived, and it is actually an execution hunter who apparently is looking to make a name for himself by 86ing you, so... once we pretty much have dispatched him, we'll get the Madras Whistle. The Madras Whistle is a unique tool element of an item. It is not exactly easily used because it's kind of difficult how to use it, but basically what it is, Whistle of the Madras twins, denizens of the Forbidden Woods. The twins grew up alongside a poisonous snake and developed a silent and human kinship. The poisonous snake grew uncontrollably, raised on a healthy diet of beast entrails. Even after their deaths, it is said to respond to the call of the twins' whistle from within the nightmare. So we'll go ahead and equip that. And basically that's how it works. Is basically whistling it, and then somehow or another, basically, it comes right up underneath you and attacks. Which I think is very stupid, because it basically is a high-risk, high-reward weapon. But if you're off by a step, you basically potentially put yourself in harm's way of being killed. So, I want to see if it works. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try it with that one huntsman. I want to see if it works. I've never used it because I've just heard so many bad juju about its effectiveness. So we're gonna see if it works. Come on, boy. Wow, it actually did work pretty good. Okay, I'm not gonna knock it. It actually was pretty cool. I gotta admit, that was actually pretty dope. So, with that being said, we're gonna head down the ladder now and get back to exploring the other lower key area of the Forbidden Woods. So once you've arrived at the bottom of the ladder, the elevator, excuse me, we're going to dispatch this threat here and probably get some resources. Lord knows we need some. But once we've got through Volter's quest, we're pretty much free and clear of him. We won't see him again, ever. Alright. I'm not going to wait for him, so I'm just going to go back the way I came. But this is a good opportunity where you could farm here for a little bit. If you're looking for gems or echoes, this is a good place where you can farm for a good proportion amount of them. So right away, we're going to head down this slope here. And we're going to have a few things here we're going to need to grab. Now, obviously, right ahead of us is going to be a bit of a gap. We're going to want to jump that. Before we do that, though, we'll grab this item off this corpse here. Frenzied Cold Blood. And basically what we want to jump this gap for is because there's actually an item that's going to be on the other side of it, but we can't get it there without jumping the gap. So we're going to run and just... Well, we didn't need to jump either. Wow, that was lucky. Down below us is some of the snake balls, or ball snakes, whatever you want to call them. But up here, further along, want to walk slow as soon as we get to this point because we actually have an executioner lying in wait somewhere right there. So right away we're going to head over here to the left behind him on his rear, and we're going to visceral attack him. Grab the blood vials off him, and then grab the twin bloodstone shards off the corpse that you just dropped. And then we're going to go back the way we came. You could drop down into the next area, but I don't want to do that because I want to engage the other threats that are potentially in our way. You obviously can't jump back across the gap, so it's not a big deal. What we will do is take care of these snake balls. They're pretty easy. Unlike the Chalice Dungeon ones that we encountered, they're a little bit more powerful. Over here in front of this giant gravestone, you'll find some shining coins. And you want to take the liberty of checking these checking the side areas, behind trees. Be mindful, but go slow, because these snakes blend in really well with the grass. And they're hidden away in like right little tiny areas where they can sneak up and surround you. Fully charged R2 attack will kill them typically, or you could just 2 tiny little light basic rust attacks. Grab the twin bloodstone shards off the body here. Like I said, thrust weapons tend to work really well with them, so if you get really in a pinch, go to a thrust weapon. Threaded cane, rifle spear, the saw spear, whatever works for you in that regard. We're going to leave a few coins here to show that we've actually been, this is actually a path we've been on. Head back up here, make sure we didn't miss anything. In the distance we see that there's actually a villager. This gives me very fucking it. Gives me vibes of the Thing, not it, the Thing. Once we dispatched him, grab the tempering blood gemstone, and then just keep your eyes open for any other ball of snake balls that are up here. Madman's knowledge for this gravestone here. Here's where we dispatch that executioner. Grab the bloodstone shard. This is actually a good place to farm for bloodstone shards or twin bloodstone shards in case you need to upgrade your weapons. Back here, behind this tree here, overlooking this cliff, twin bloodstone shards. Be careful though not to get knocked off the cliff. There is a few drop-offs here. Another snake ball. They typically will ignore you until you approach their vicinity. Bloodstone shard. Twin bloodstone shard. I gotta say, this is probably my favorite part, with the exception of the fact that it's just really easy to get lost. So as you can see, I'm making a good point to just keep tabs on my location with coins. I'll probably do 6 coins with every track I occupy. Obviously, there's a thing up there. We're going to head up that way in a bit. In the distance, we can see several small snake balls as well as a giant mama snake ball. So we're going to go ahead and just avoid that fight for a minute. And we're going to head up here, up and around. And here we have a snake. I was kind of hoping to get him with a visceral attack, but it doesn't seem like he wanted to cooperate, so it's okay. Grab the twin bloodstone shards off the body, as well as whatever items these enemies drop. Head around the tree here, just to make sure there's nothing there. Nope. And that will pretty much put us back on the path of where we originally were. Alright, that's where we came from. This is where we're going. Now we could go left. We're not going to go left though. We're going to go up. We obviously went to the right here and dealt with this attack, so we got another... I just want to go over here and check one more thing. Okay, we're good. Head up this other path here, past this point here, and we will encounter another snake ball. Now these enemies are no particular stranger. They operate the same way as the small ones. With the exception they are a bit faster with their attacks, but they are no less just as vulnerable to thrust attacks. Grab the twin bloodstone shard from the body, as well as the thick cold blood from this other body on the other side. Then go behind this gravestone where we're on the other side of it, and you'll find the clear deep sea rune. Clear deep sea rune, in this particular instance, is going to give us 100% slow poison resistance. So we got the 200 and the 100. So this would technically be probably, I think, level 1, per se. I believe. Oh, man. Charlie horse. Hey. So, right away we're going to head over here, and we're just going to walk over to this point. We're not going to go down, we're just going to scout the area. And right away we'll find that we actually have the threats. We obviously know there's multiple threats down here, but we can't see them, so we need to find a way to see them. With that being said, we got an easy takedown of all those snake balls. So we pretty much had that sorted to where we had those threats neutralized, but now we have a new area that we can explore. First we're going to do is we're going to go up here though. Come up, you see, you come to this point with a fenced area, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come up and around and grab the tree star off the corpse here, grab the twin bloodstone shards. We also bypass the snake ball. We'll take him down and deal with him. Now there's another secret we can grab, which we're going to show you. I'm going to show you how to do that too. Over in the distance we have a area that is inaccessible to us without jumping this gap. This is a little risky, but if you make it, you can get to this item as well as a hidden outfit. So, it's going to measure this a little bit, and hopefully we'll make it. So, we want to do a running jump. So, sprint, and as soon as you hit the bat, double tap it, and you'll leap across. Once that, proceed up along this crevice and across here, and there you will find the graveyard mask. And then over here, you will find the graveyard outfit. In the distance, we pretty much have a few other things. We can hear we can hear some man-eating pigs around here, so we need to be cautious with finding them. We have some snake balls though. Let's go ahead and deal with these guys. I'm taking very careful to take my time not to give away my position because I don't want to get bulldozed. Alright, there's a pig there. So we'll get our saw spear out, we'll get up behind him on the rear. Visceral attack him. With that being said, we got blood vials from him. And then here we have Homeboy. Now this one in particular is kind of unique. Now these ones particularly will summon other little snake balls to get you, which is okay because we got this pretty much in order. I'm going to have to get some bullets here if I'm not careful. Take some medicine. Now, once we dispatch those threats, we will be able to... There's a few different ways we can go, this is where it gets a little confusing. Because there's some items I need to go back and get. So we're going to make our way back, actually. I don't want to go further forward because I don't want to get lost. But that's... I mean, we're not going to get lost just yet. What I will do is throw some coins down, though, to show that we've actually been down this path. So right away, as soon as we get to this point, we're going to head around to the right. And in here, we'll find that there's actually... I want to get some Molotovs. Over here, grab the body, grab the twin bloodstone shards. And that'll take care of that snake ball as well. On the body here, Deep Sea rune will be found. The Deep Sea rune will add 200% frenzy resistance, which will be very handy near the end of the game. If you haven't found this, you want to find this. I can't stress it enough, because the last part of the game will be pretty pivotal to using this if you're not careful. More snake balls, opportunities. Here we can kill more of them. After we dispatch the snake ball, grab the murky blood gemstone. Also around the corner on the tree, on the corpse by this tree, frenzied cold blood will also be found. Now we can leave more coins, as I believe this will lead us where we originally were supposed to end up. Over here though, before you engage them enemies, grab 5 coins off this body here. Ooh, hello. That's a new attack. Want to be careful with engaging them like this, because I wouldn't exactly recommend doing visceral attacks, because at this point I'm probably like hurting really bad for ammo. Oh! Careful, 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 careful! Get back! Get back, get back, get back, get back. Yikes! Poison. Oh my god, man, you guys are nasty! Damn! They almost punched my ticket! Anyway, once you've taken care of them, go over here to this body and grab a bloodstone chunk. As well as off of their bodies, whatever they may have dropped. Just gonna take a quick gander, make sure we haven't missed anything. I think this is where we found our snake ball friends. Yep, we did. So this is pretty much we have already been to. That we pretty much already been. Okay, so we're pretty much. We're back to where we were. So that's good. We're not lost yet. So. Trying to find another secret area that I'm trying to find here, so bear with me. Here we go. Down here are going to be some of our little mushroom friends, the toadstool. Basically, they're celestial emissaries, but we're going to want to find them. All blood-clad, jeez. So we're gonna drop down here and grab the Madman's Knowledge. They're pretty vulnerable and soft, but you can get some good tempering blood gemstones from them. Obviously, they're kin enemies, so they're vulnerable to thrust weapons. Grab the Madman's Knowledge there. You want to be careful with one of them because he actually has a very powerful magic. So it's the one with the tendrils right there. You want to dispatch him quickly. And then over here on the body you'll find the anti-clockwise metamorphosis rune, which is basically boost your maximum stamina by 10%. This is effectively a level 1. There's pretty much 2 other levels equivalent to this, so we'll get them eventually. Over here, you'll find another one of your little alien friends mingling among the mushrooms. And then go ahead and grab the Madman's Knowledge off that body. And then we're going to proceed to head through this cave entrance, which will take us out into this bog-like area with fireflies. Now at this point there are 2 areas we can go. We can go straight ahead and lead us up into a fork, or we can go right. Now, we will obviously go to the right, and both areas in fact. But the reason why I want to take this path is because this will lead us to a shortcut. So right away we're going to head up. So once we dispatch the threat there, we're going to head up here. And in here, there will be an elevator. This elevator will take us back up to the windmill house. So effectively, we have found our shortcut, saving us an egregious more in the way of work in terms of traveling. Sneak up behind this one and dispatch him. And then we will proceed back the way we came and take the elevator right back down. Now, upon entering this area, once again, we're going to take a right, and obviously we will go back across the path and make it known that we actually have already been that way, just so we don't get confused and lost. So, grab your coins. If you feel like you can remember, great. If you can't, then go ahead and leave some coins just to show, yeah, you were here already. I'll leave just 3 or 4. And then what we will do is proceed up the slope here before we take the slope down. Because up here there is an item we need to grab in the form of twin bloodstone shards. And this path will take us across. Over here, on this path, you want to be mindful with the sense of that there will be some items here in the form of frenzied cold blood, as well as some snake balls. Easy opportunity for some echoes and resources. More well-hidden snake balls in the bush. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. I think. Or not. I hate getting colds, I really do, because they're so annoying. I'd rather get the flu, if you can believe it. I know that sounds crazy, but I really would like to get the flu more than the fucking cold. At least you know where you're at with the cold. Colds, they're the worst. I mean, they tease you. They make you feel like you're gonna sneeze, like you gotta sneeze, you wanna sneeze, but then it just, nope, no sneeze for you. So once we dealt with the snake ball, we're pretty much we've pretty much almost completely swept this entire area. I'm just taking a quick measure of the area to sort of make sure I didn't forget anything. So I'm taking the time to just take a quick last minute look around real quick. If you've placed any coins, you should have been able to make a relatively good path of where you've been and where you haven't. Like I said, some people have an easy time tracking their movements and their whereabouts. If you have a good amount of playtime with Bloodborne, you should be able to. But there's some who still get very much lost labyrinth with this type of labyrinthian layout. This is the slope where we would come down. And we could go to the right where the pig is, but we're going to see about going in this. I think there's 2 pigs. Here we have some animated corpses underneath this area. Among them, you'll find the Dissipating Lake rune, which will give us bolt damage reduction by 5%. So enemies with bolt damage will give us 5% less damage. Would have been handy to have that for Dark Beast Parl. We'll sneak over here and we'll dispatch this giant pig. And we'll grab the blood vials here. Easy. He might as well have just sat his ass on the fire and just let it cook him. Once we deal with the pig, you can just get rid of the last of his enemies, grab the sharp blood gemstone off the corpse, shake that gunk off my coat, get the blood vials. And then basically we have our next path here. Now here there is actually two paths. Number one will be to our left, leading down to our boss fight for this particular area, and then the other one will be up and to our right. Follow the path up this way, and you will find that it is actually a gated area that is locked from the other side, or it was to be this side. Thankfully, it's not. So, grab the clockwise metamorphosis rune off the body, which I think improves our health. So right away, pretty much we have dispatched that enemy, and then up here, we're going to have a slope taking us up. We're going to take that slope. And this will take us through this path, through this passage, and then here to an outcropping above this area. And then I think we jump across. I don't know if we can jump across, we'll see. Nope, can't. Oh, you know what? I think actually we go up there. We can actually take that path up there. I didn't even. I completely screwed the pooch on that one. I thought maybe there was a path. I think there is a path. There is actually a hidden path up there. I think it is. Ah, I was right. Yep, here's an item in the form of frenzied cold blood. And then basically, I think that path is not accessible from here. So, there's a possibility I may miss some items. I'm not entirely 100% sure. Like I said, this is one of my fun spots, but this is also a hard spot to really kind of give a 100% accurate guide to the layout. Okay, nope, I was right. So that path leads up to that item. This is actually the drop path where it gives you an opportunity to sneak in and get a sneak attack on them. I must have missed that. So I ain't too far off the mark. I actually did nail it pretty much directly on the money. So, but before we go further ahead with the boss fight, which is actually going to lead us to the Shadows of Yharnam boss fight, we're going to go ahead and just take one quick last-minute glance around the area. As you can see, down there is actually where the boss fight is going to take place, and basically we're just that's where we're going. So that will be our next major boss fight. I think there is some more items to be found. I'm not sure, but I'm going to take a last minute second to take a glance through here, just to be sure. I want to be thorough. I want to make sure. I don't want to miss anything. I definitely want to go a little bit ahead of the curve with my my playthrough here. I've done a very good job so far, and I think I can afford to get a little extra effort and practice done with some of it, particularly if I'm actually monitoring it well enough. So I want to make sure there's no snake balls I missed. No items I left behind. I want to get everything I can. And I think I may have done just that. If there's anything I potentially missed, I'm not seeing it. Woods are very hard for me sometimes because they can be kind of confusing. You think you've been someplace and then you ultimately find, oh, gee, I did miss that. Damn. And then you're really frustrated because then you go back and you figure it out, and then, or you see it from somebody else's play, and you kind of like, oh, gee, I hope that isn't going to be a negative reflection on the next time I go about doing a live stream walkthrough. So I think we pretty much got it covered. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Get to the next itty bitty nitty gritty of killing. Now, the Shadows of Yharnam are 3 unique shadow-clad warriors. I like to think of them as like monks from hell, because they are effectively that. There will be 3 of them. One will be equipped with a Roman candle and will basically do fire attacks. He also has a sword. There will be another with a sword and also some form of magic. As the fight progressively gets harder and harder, eventually they will get desperate and aggressive with their forms of fighting. And the fact of that being that they'll actually summon snakes out of their body, and also a giant snake, much like the Madras that we can actually call with a whistle. Very powerful enemies overall, but nonetheless a threat to be contended with. So we're definitely going to put on some measures of armor to protect ourselves. Just trying to decide, do I want more fire protection than anything else? Excuse me. We're definitely going to go ahead with we'll go ahead with the Charred Hunter, and we'll go from there with that. We're definitely going to use the Threaded Cane, though, I can tell you that. So the second we go through here, they'll just come right out of the shadows like zombies. And here they come. And that's it. That's pretty much all there is to it. They're actually really not that hard. I mean, they're actually pretty straightforward in terms of their fight ability, but I mean, ultimately, they're really not that difficult to take down. So once you dispatch them, you'll get the Blood Rapture ability, rune. So with the blood, we didn't get a look at it. Yeah, boost max HP with a clockwise metamorphosis rune. So we get 5% additional base HP, and then the blood. Let's see, where is that? The blood rapture. Visceral attacks restore 200 HP. So this pretty much goes without saying. This one that'll give you health when you do visceral attacks. Very handy for high risk, high reward builds and high risk, high reward playthroughs. If you're good with visceral attacks, that will keep you alive. So once we've dispatched them, we will have a lantern. We will go back to the Hunter's Dream now. Well, no, actually we'll go forward. This will lead us to the path leading to the school of Byrgenwerth. And actually, the only reason I'm doing this is because there's going to be a lantern leading to this area. So we're going to take advantage of that. But be mindful with the trees. There is a threat to our right here in the form of a fly. He will cause frenzy, so you want to be careful not to let him jump on you and proceed to mount your face. He will mount your face. He'll jump up on you and literally claw at your face and induce frenzy while sucking the blood out of your head like that. Now, once we dispatched him, didn't realize Jeff Goldblum's The Fly was in this film. We'll grab the madman's knowledge behind the gargoyle here, and then further up, we will be entering the school of Byrgenwerth. And then what we will do is we will light the lantern here, and we will head back to the Hunter's Dream, as we have now reached Byrgenwerth. Now that we have found Byrgenwerth, we can actually take advantage of the opportunity to get some resources burned. So, head over to the... No, we don't really need it. We'll head over to the doll and have her improve your power.
What is it you desire? Very well.
So we are going to improve our skill. And then we're going to go about doing... We'll go ahead and take the Visceral Attack Claw marker off. We don't really need that anymore. We got plenty enough power. We can actually manage this. We will go over, however, and put more echoes from Visceral Attacks. Do we have that? Oh, we do have that. Okay, well, maybe we won't take that off then. But now we can put on one of our Carol runes. Now, we can do the Corruption rune, which will give us continuous healing from potentials of death. And we can also do the Radiance Blood rune, which will give us Vile HP recovery up. So it doesn't really matter. The Impurity rune gives us more HP with co-op. We're not playing co-op right now, so we're going to go with the Radiance rune. Go ahead and rock that. And then we'll go ahead and improve a couple of our weapons. We'll repair a few of them. And we'll fortify... Go ahead and fortify the Tantris, because we're going to need that for the next fight. Get it all the way up there in terms of strength. We got lots of bloodstone chunks, so we can do that. But before we head on out of here and we do anything else, we're going to go ahead over here and buy an outfit. in the form. Oh, we don't have it. Oh, I guess. Oh, that's right. We already got it. We got the grave robber, the grave guard mask. I want to see what that looks like. I've actually never seen what this thing looks like. Oh wow. Scream is gonna sue somebody. I'm just saying. I've never even seen this. That's new. I didn't even. I've never even worn this, but that's definitely something else. I mean, look at all the fucking tools he's got on him, man. It's like a mutilation. He's gonna mutilate somebody with all that shit. Nah, bro. I'm good. I'm not dressed. I'm not. Yeah, no. I'm good with that. Nope. 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 Oh, hun, don't worry about it. You can always you'll get a fair shake of whatever else you're missing. It's okay. Don't worry about it. These are always rewindable. I hope you had a good holiday though. I also want to share everybody, Frosty there was sweet enough to send me a card for Christmas, and ironically it got here right on Christmas Eve. So big salute to you, love. You're a doll. Always will be. Love you. Oh, no, I don't want to sell that. What am I doing? So right away, we're going to go ahead and... Yeah, we got some echoes we can use. Good, good. What did you do? Go out to the cabin, dear? We'll go ahead and get some of these echoes used. Got plenty of them to use. Alright. Not really a lot to use, but well, enough to go ahead and burn. So we'll go ahead and do... Oh, good. I'm glad. That's wonderful. So happy, honey. So we're going to go ahead and change a few things here. Number one, we're going to obviously ditch the poison knives. We're going to get our Tantras out. We're going to need... Well, no, actually, we're not going to need the Tantras yet. What we will do, though, is head directly for Byrgenwerth. Obviously, the shadows of Yarnum were placed there to protect Byrgenwerth from would-be curious onlookers who wanted to get too close to school. It's no small wonder why Byrgenwerth was forbidden ground, and why nobody ever went there, because whoever did go there never came back. But in any case, here we are, Byrgenwerth. Once we get into the focus of this, we're going to go ahead and find our way down. Nope, no swimming yet, just lots of bugs. So, as you can see, these scholars basically have become these little buggers. You pretty much can tell that these guys were obviously not joking when they said, give us eyes to see. So we pretty much have like these fly-like enemies in the form of these former priests or students, whatever they were. They clearly aren't friendly, so... As you can see, that's why we want to avoid getting bitten up by the bug. Once we dispatch those particular idiots, we're going to need to get out our blue elixir, because there's actually going to be a brain sucker up ahead, which I forgot about. So we're going to get our blue elixir out. No, it basically creates frenzy. So it kind of makes it. It's he's doing damage to me, but he's also inducing frenzy with madness. So as frenzy meter goes up, when it reaches full, all my health will basically be obliterated. So effectively, I guess you could say it's kind of like a bomb effect. But basically, that's what it does. My madness goes up. My blood can't take it, and then it just explodes. So, and it instantly kills me, which is why, and I don't have any sedatives to cure frenzy, so I have to be very careful here because I don't have any sedatives yet. I haven't earned any yet. So, but what we're going to do is use the blue elixir to mask our approach, and I'm going to kill the brain sucker that's going to be lying in wait up here. I'll get a weapon once I kill. There's a hunter here with a unique badge, which I'll kill her, and I'll get the badge, and I'll be able to get a unique bug spray called a Robespierre, which is like a mist sprayer. But once you get that past the brain sucker, you'll get the arcane lake rune, which basically gives us arcane damage reduction by 7%. Yeah, I figured. I'll see about countering it, so I think that pretty much is done. So right away, in the distance, you'll find a few things here. Number one, obviously, you'll notice up above there's actually Master Willem, still in his rocking chair. And not alone by the looks of it. So we're going to go ahead and go about getting to him. But before we can, we need to deal with these bug friends of ours. Want to be careful with the centipede monster, because obviously here he has power. He has physical form. So once we dispatch this threat, he'll be disappearing. He's actually... It's very bizarre how this enemy can exist here, because he's typically only able to exist in the... He's actually only able to exist inside the Chalice dungeon, but here he has... He's basically a phantom, but somehow or another he won't... Killing him will just send him back to his world. And there you have it. He's gone. So he basically vanishes. Over here on this body, we'll get some Madman's knowledge. And then further along, we obviously can't open... I don't know if we can open this door from this side or not. I don't think we can. Okay, we can't open this door from this side. So we need to go underneath and around. So we'll go ahead and over here, we'll find the Great One's Wisdom. Now, Great One's Wisdom is not like typical Madman's Insight. Madman's Insight will grant you 1 insight. Great One's Wisdom will grant you 2. So, prepare yourself, and over here there will be another fly enemy. And once we dispatch that one, now we have Sedative. Now we have protection from Frenzy. Frenzy, Sedative is much like medicine. Medicine will cure fast and slow poison. Sedative will cure Frenzy. So just bear that in mind. They do not do the same thing. They do very different things, but sedative is more precious. So you want to save that. So once we've opened up the gate from this side, we can go about opening up the door here. Now inside here, we will encounter a choir member, which a choir member is basically a powerful mage kind of character for the healing church. She uses magic like a motherfucker. So you want to put on your best defenses for arcane powers. So magic is what she uses. Magic is what we are going to protect ourselves from. So what are we using? Well, we're going to obviously use the Tomb Prospector build, because that has effectively probably the best arcane protection you will have overall. You could do the student uniform, which has 140, but I am not going to compromise too much of my safety for arcane magics. So we're just going to go ahead and put on the Tomb Prospector build. And we're also going to go about putting on the Lead Elixir, which this is actually probably the one time we will probably use it, because it is so powerful. There it is. And we're going to also use Numbing Mist. And Bone Marrow Ash. Now the choir will be above us. She will appear the second we ascend to the top of the stairs and will immediately engage us. Inside here, this little school area, there'll be a chest to your left, which will have a pearl slug. This is I believe this is a crafting material for a ritual. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. In any case, we're going to go ahead in here and open up the other door to the other side as well. And right there is our girl. So immediately drink the Lead Elixir and just prepare to engage her. And that's it. Sweet dreams, sweetheart. Now, upon killing her, yeah, that was her weapon. Basically, that's the Rava Spear. It sprays. It's kind of like a church weapon where it sprays divine mist. It works really good against kin enemies. Not so much about beasts, but it's a very unique spray. It's basically equivocal to the flame sprayer. So when she drops, it will be the blue elixir, which we will definitely use. Over here in this little sitting area, you'll find a chest. Go ahead and open that up. And inside you will find the student uniform, which is much like the student uniform that we already have, but this one seems like a much more regal, royal kind of looking uniform. Obviously, that's our way out. We're not going to go there, though. Head over here, and on this wall, you'll see a note. When the red moon hangs low, the line between man and beast is blurred, and when the great ones descend, a womb will be blessed with a child. So basically, the antithesis of this, if you haven't really read much on the Bloodborne lore, is the great ones cannot have children. So what they do is to have a child, they bless a human mind or a human being with one, which I don't know if I really would be too thrilled to have. I don't know what. There's a joke. There's a very particular joke to be made there when it comes to the rules of consent. But I mean, I don't think I would definitely want some squid-looking alien life form that apparently is a godly thing, giving me a little child, a little baby boy or baby girl to raise. So, yeah, but basically that's it. So, we pretty much have the instance of that sort too. So, but once we've read that little piece, we're gonna head over here, climb the ladder. On the counter, we will have the lunarium key, which will enable us to open that door. We couldn't open that door initially at all. Now we can open the door out to Master Willem. Up here, continue following the stairwell up. And with the dispatching of the bug boy, open up this chest, and inside we will find the empty phantasm shell. Now what the empty phantasm shell does is it basically imbues your weapon with arcane elemental power. Basically similar to how it would do it with flame sprit with the fire paper, or even a bolt paper. It basically imbues it with power to the point where you can actually use it in that capacity as soon as I find the damn thing, because I can't seem to find it. Here it is. Empty phantasm shell. An empty invertebrate shell that is said to be familiar of a great one. The Healing Church has discovered a great variety of invertebrates, or phantasms as they are called. Shells with slime still harbor arcane power and can be rubbed on a weapon to imbue them with their strength. So with this, you'll use Quicksilver Bullets 3, but you'll get 15 points of arcane power. Similar to like the Argo of Abritus giving us 18, or the Old Hunter Bone giving us 15 in terms of speed. So it really kind of depends on what you use it for. But it definitely would be a very powerful weapon in the right hands, especially if it's imbued with arcane power. So right off the start, we're going to head back the way we came and immediately descend the ladder. Oh, look at you, little bookworm. Thank you. I was thinking it was going to be something with a I got the incentive of lunar there, so I knew I had to do something with the moon. But right here, you'll find here is Master Willem. And if you notice, Master Willem apparently has been turned into a vegetable as he's put that damn freaking gross shit into his neck, which you see is sprouting out of his back of his neck now like a fucking bunch of mushrooms. So he's obviously not entirely with us anymore. He's probably a vegetable. So, but when you go to talk to him, he'll give you some insight and he'll point you to the lake, which is where we want to go. So, what we're going to do, though, is we're going to kill Willem, because he actually has a powerful lunar. He has a powerful rune we want. Sorry, buddy. You shouldn't have fucked with the mushroom. And with him, we'll get the eye rune. And what the eye rune does is it makes additional discoveries. So this will actually improve your discovery powers, where you'll get more items. So almost every enemy in the game that you kill will drop something for you, which we're going to take advantage of that much later, but we're not going to do it now. But what we will do is prepare ourselves for the fight ahead. So right away, right off the start, we're going to go ahead and equip a few things. We're going to equip Flame Sprayer, and we're going to equip the Molotovs, and we're going to go about equipping maybe that should be all. I don't want to go too far off the beaten path with what I want to use, because I don't know what kind of a fight this big bastard's going to give me. So if you remember from my previous live streams where I did the Chalice Dungeons, we obviously fought Rom the vacuous spider. Well, this is actually where we're going to find him. Whatever secret they had here in Byrgenwerth was hidden in the lake. And in the lake is where it was hidden. It's very bizarre how this world functions, but apparently they have dimensional spells where they hide these kinds of things, and somehow or another this big bastard managed to hide here. In a way, I did go swimming, didn't I? So, pretty much right off the bat, what you want to do is engage Rom. Right away, he'll call upon his children to back him up. I make a habit of getting rid of all the spiders first. Now Rom will teleport away to a farther reaching area with multiple spiders and targets. He'll do the same attacks like he did in the previous engagements. Gotta be careful. They're a pain in the ass. The baby spiders are, in my opinion, the baby spiders are ridiculously more dangerous. Because they do such damage. They're so small, but they hit you so goddamn hard. So I try to make a habit to just get rid of them if I can. It's just easier that way. And then of course this keeps calling for that damn icicle attack. And the meteor storm. Fucker. Now, after we kill Rom, we're going to change our outfit because I am no longer needing to worry about that particular issue with Rom and his bullshit. So Rom has been dispatched. With him, he'll drop some kin Coldblood. And then he will have a new thing which will become a prevalent issue. Now that we've taken care of Rom, part of the spell that has been hiding a secret of Byrgenwerth, this was Byrgenwerth's secret. We've killed the secret. I know, right? I like it myself. It doesn't really give me much in the way of protection. I personally prefer the. I personally like Gascoigne's hat more. It's got a Van Helsing feel to it, but I think I would put that on just because I like the look of it. So for right now, it'll work. But basically, Byrgenwerth, we've killed Rom, the vacuous spider, which enabled Byrgenwerth to study the Great Ones. But with that, they've cast a spell. That spell, part of it has been broken. Now, part of that spell is to hide the unseen village. Now that we've taken Ram out of the equation, the unseen village is open to us. And in the distance, we can see Queen Yarnum, who is crying because it's actually her ghost, but she's crying because her child has been taken from her. In a way, it's an echo of a time. Basically, she was gifted by the Great Ones with a child. The church, the Healing Church, took that child, and basically they executed they exercised the spell that hid the mensis ritual is what it was called. Basically, they used the child of Murgo to basically. It's basically what the child's name is Murgo. But they used Queen Yarnum's child, Murgo, to cast the Mensis ritual. The Mensis ritual is in turn tied to Rom. As I understand it, the Mensis ritual was to hide the unseen village and basically enable the Mensis nightmare, where all the humans of Yarnum that were complicit with the Healing Church to live in the Mensis nightmare infinitely for all time. So in a sense, they basically gained immortality by staying in their dream, which they did at the expense of the queen and her child, who is their prisoner. So once we approach Queen Yarnum, we'll get a cutscene. As you can see, that was not a very good birth, because, man, she's a fucking mess. She's all blood and everything. And then here, the blood moon is descending. And we have been transported away from the moonlit lake. The ritual's secret broken. Seek the nightmare newborn, which is Murgo. Now, because we have the red moon descended, the alien entities of the Great Ones, the Amadalas, are now visible to us because the red moon has descended. It has plunged Yarnum into a perpetual blending of the night and the day, man and beast. Madness is becoming more and more prevalent, where we're seeing things that shouldn't exist. But there we have it. So now that we pretty much have entered this very surreal world of sorties, we can now go past this door leading to the hunters, to the unseen village, Yargul. Enemies are now being cast as spells in the form of phantoms. Now, if you listen very carefully, you can hear the baby crying still. That's Murgo. Somewhere out there, she is being held prisoner against her will to keep this fucking nonsense going. We need to find her. But as you can see, these motherfuckers are everywhere. Once we dispatch that threat, head down the stairs and then turn the corner and you'll find frenzied cold blood. And then here we will have a lantern. Yeah, pretty much. It's basically getting more and more crazy now, but we're getting closer and closer to the end game. So this is basically the highlight of as far as Yarnum is concerned, this place is going down the tubes. But basically this is what everybody didn't see. They were so entranced with the blood ministration of the Healing Church. They didn't see this is what the Healing Church let through the world. This is what's basically been going on and on and on. They think everything's fine. No, look at these fucking things. That's not fine. You're crazy. I mean, this is not normal. These things are crawling all over the place like fucking ants. But basically, these are people who are basically committed themselves to the menses ritual. They basically mummified themselves. They put their heads inside these little cages. They cast the spell, and it drove them into crazy land. And their bodies died, but their consciousness is preserved inside those little cage helmets. So they're not dead, but they're not alive either. But we're going to head back to the Hunter's Dream now, because we actually have a few quest lines that we need to check on. So we're going to do that here in a moment. So we don't have access to those items yet that we were looking for, but we're getting there. So right away, what we're going to do is thinking. We got the Yargle Unseen Village, we got Hypon Goal, which we can't access anymore. Once we've actually had the Red Moon descend, this particular part of it is going to be very, very difficult to get to because they've broken the lantern for this particular point. This lantern is broken. We cannot access it anymore. So that's pretty much a foregone conclusion. However, what we can do is finish up Aileen's quest line. Now, Aileen's quest line is going to be a little hard. If not, probably one of the hardest quest lines ever. So right away, we're going to go to Cathedral Ward. Aileen is basically Aileen the Crow, if you remember her. But basically, she has basically been severely injured hunting another hunter. And apparently this hunter is a vile blood. So we need to put this vile blood down. And we need to do so in order to get her full capacity of her quest line fulfilled. So head for Cathedral Ward, because that's where we'll find her. And right away, as soon as we get here, go ahead and talk to Ariana.
Oh, there you are. Forgive me, I'm a bit out of sorts. So, no blood today, I'm afraid. Oh, there's something wrong with me.
And basically what's going on with her is she's actually part of the third ending. She's actually been impregnated by a Great One, unknowingly. So she's actually pretty much coming to term. Now she's going to give birth to a Great One.
Once the night of the hunt, I'll give it.
So pretty much at this point, with the Red Moon descending, everybody's kind of like getting a bit caught up in their own fog. So the old lady, as you can see, she'll be nicer to me now.
Oh, there you are. You're early, dear. Is anything the matter? You can always tell me. Mother will make everything better. Was there anything you'd like to tell me? Oh, but this will help. Forget your troubles. Forget your cares.
Now at this point, you can get sedative from the old lady. I would only recommend doing it 2 times, not 3 times. You can do 3 times, but if you do 3 times, she'll go outside the chapel for whatever reason, and she'll get killed. So you can pretty much get sedatives from her X amount of times, and she'll give them to you. The old man.
Ah, your lies spin a web, but I see through your I did not learn from books. No. I learned it all with my own mind. Ah, but I learned it.
Another fruitcake. Even the healing church nun is kind of losing her marbles. It's like fucking hysteria with these fuckers. It really is. It's like you think they would wise up and just like, no, stay away from that shit. It's bad publicity, bad business. You don't want to mess with it. No, do they listen? Of course not. Why would they? They don't need to. We'll go ahead and get these church servants out of our way. At this point, these guys are just walkovers, but they're easy enough where you can actually get some easy money out of them. Oh yeah, they like to be. They're not. They're just pussies. They ain't got no swag. Go ahead and get the church giant. And then up ahead will be Aileen, severely wounded.
Oh. Is that you again?
She is all fucked up.
I'm afraid I've made a bit of a blunder. I'm just going to have a short rest. No, don't worry. I've taken blood. Enough to save an old woman. No more dreams for me. This is my last chance. What a fool I am. I'll have to tread carefully. But that thing still lies in wait. Turn back. This is my score to settle.
Now she will tell you to not do anything.
Prey lies in wait. This turn back.
He is not strong enough to fight this thing, and frankly, neither am I, because he is very strong. Basically, he's the bloody crow of Canehurst. So he's a hunter of hunters, but he's a vile blood hunter of hunters. So he's an evil crow of Canehurst, I guess you could say. But we're going to need to stop him. So what we're going to need to do that is we're going to need protection from blood tinge. I'm going to try to do that because this fucker is very damaging with his gunshots. So, with any luck, we will get some moxie of strength here. I'm just mix-matching pieces here for protection because we're definitely going to need it. So, not exactly how I want to look, but considering the circumstances of this fight coming up, I'm going to need it. So what we're going to need here is we're going to need some poison knives, if we can get them. And we're also going to need some. We got the bone marrow ash, and we're gonna need some numbing mist. We're gonna need to keep him on the defensive. Well, he's gonna be I'm under no illusions. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. He's gonna kill me. I'm almost certain of that. I cannot tell you how many times this guy has made me rage because I hate him. I hate fighting this son of a bitch because he is so damn strong. So strategy based with this one is basically he's going to have 2 items. He's going to have 3 or 4, maybe no 5. That's what he's got. He's got 5 unique methods of attack. Primarily, his main measure of force is going to be his repeating pistol. Stupid strong, very damaging. He is essentially going to like easily 1 or 2 shot me if I'm not careful. Because he has blood tinge on his side, that gives him an incredible good chance of actually 1 shot killing me with his gun. He uses numbing mist. He uses the Chikaje to do rapid poison damage. He uses numbing mist to keep me from healing. He uses the old hunter bone to quickly teleport around the level. He also uses occasionally throwing knives. But ironically, he will usually almost always try to close the gap on me. He'll try to stun lock me with a visceral attack and to kill me easily with a visceral attack, but he is incredibly powerful. Yeah, he's fun, alright. You can see him right there in the distance. Basically, he's exactly looks like me, but with Aileen's outfit on, so effectively we're just gonna have to... God damn you. Just like that. Yep, he's got really fast recovery. He's incredibly powerful, as you can see. I actually had him on the ropes. I was doing really well, and then I fucked it because I ended up getting hit with that numbing mist. That numbing mist is what kept me from healing. Hence why I was stuck. I went to reach for my blood vial and I couldn't use it. I actually had him on the ropes. I would have gotten him too. He's very strong, but that's the thing about fighting. And and the sick thing is, he only gets stronger with each new game plus. So each new game plus, when you fight him again, if you fight him again, he is incredibly strong to the point where it's impossible to reasonably beat him straight up. I mean, I tried on a few occasions, but like literally, you can see even with the highest measure of defenses with blood tinge, he was still able to fuck my ass up. So I'm gonna have to run back here and just give it another go. I'm gonna get my blood echoes back first. I don't want to lose those. Got you. And then with that, we'll get the Blood Rapture rune for beating him. And basically, the Blood Rapture rune is basically like, this is level 1. Blood Rapture rune, in this capacity, I believe this is level 2. I believe, but I could be wrong. It could be level 3. So, but once we have defeated him, oh man, I wish I had an EKG mounted to my chest because you could hear how hard my heart's beating like a motherfucker right now. Oh. So once we dispatched him, head back out and have a chit chat with Aileen, and it'll be the end of her quest line.
Don't you ever listen to your elders. No matter. You did save my life. I don't seem to be apt for this life anymore. My glory days were long ago now. I know. Here. For you.
And she will give you the Crow Hunter badge as well as the Hunter Arc rune.
This too is Hunter's work, but it bears no honor. A burden you may choose to carry. The decision is yours alone. Oh. My eyes grow heavy. Let me rest a while. I'll be fine. Just wait.
And now she basically is going to be breathing like she's sleeping. But in a sense, she's kind of died. You don't really see that because she's moving, but when you come back, her body will be gone. So either she significantly managed to get up and walk it off, and you never see her again, or she is about as dead as fried chicken. But the fact remains is basically that's the end of her quest line. You have her Crow Hunter badge, so now you can purchase her weapons, you can purchase her outfit, and you have the Carol rune, which will enable you to use extra evolutes of stamina. So we'll go ahead and head back and use that. So, head back to the Cathedral Ward of Odin Chapel, and we will head back to the Hunter's Dream and get those weapons. Well, that weapon and her runes and her outfit. So right away, you can go ahead and seek in here, and you will find the Blade of Mercy. Now, this actually is another good skill-based weapon blade. This is one of my favorites because it is effectively a single little fast knife-like blade. But the cool thing about it is it splits into 2 unique blades. And then you can pretty much, like... It basically allows you to basically attack with a veracity of speed. The cool thing about these blades, though, is that they are unique for the sense that they do arcane damage, as you can see here with the 30 points, split with the physical attack damage, as well as it does an additional 6 points of arcane damage and 20 points of thrust damage. So this is a pretty well-rounded, unique weapon for being a skill and a strength-based weapon. You can see right there at the bottom with the stats, S and S. Perfect strength weapon, perfect skill weapon, and it has the capacity of being a really suitable arcane weapon in some fashion, depending on how you set it up. So this is actually one of my favorites, and the cool thing about it isn't just the fact that it does arcane and thrust damage, but the Blade of Mercy also stagger locks the enemies. So, like, if you split the blade into 2, you can actually, like, shred them the hell up, and every hit will stun lock them to where they can't do a fucking thing to get out of it. It's a very great way to actually overwhelm a boss your size, you know, much like Mikulesh, who we'll face later, or perhaps another hunter. You can also stun lock them. So very handy against other hunters, especially players in PvP. If you're thinking about that, this would be a good weapon for you to use. We'll go ahead and use... I think we're not going to have enough for the outfit, so we're going to see what we can get for the outfit. Let's use these echoes. And go into the outfit section, and inside you will find the beak mask, the crow feather garb, and we're going to be short. Let's see what we can sell. I got a few runes here we can sell. I got a lot of runes I can sell. What the hell am I talking about? Alright, we got enough now. So we'll go ahead and buy the outfit. And we'll put on the outfit, because I really like seeing this thing. I don't wear this outfit, but it is definitely something that I think a lot of players will definitely be wearing at one point or another, just because it looks cool. It's definitely got the makings. No, it gives me vibes of it with the beak. It gives me vibes of that old, like, the old doctor outfit during the plague of Renaissance Italy or Rome or whatever the fuck have you. It gives me like one of those plague doctor looking like vibe, which I definitely like that. So we'll go ahead and repair our weapons. It looks like it. I think that's where it drew the inspiration for the look. Honest to God. I thought it was, yeah. I was gonna say, I honestly think it was like a very kind of close resemblance of it. I think it was. So it definitely does. It definitely does. It does definitely fits the bill. It fits the bill. But basically, yeah, we got that we got her look now. So now the cool thing is we're gonna go ahead and put on that hero rune. So here we have the hunter rune. The hunter rune basically will improve your stamina recovery speed up. So we'll go ahead and put that on because I definitely like to have more stamina just because. So we'll definitely have that handy for that capacity. And then over here in this bath, we should have something of worth of purchase. I'm definitely going to buy more runes of this sort because I fucking need it. And now we basically can go about that little capacity of a sort. So we'll put all of our stuff back on that we were wearing. And we'll get to the business of doing that other engagement that we were originally set out to do. So right away, we're going to head to the Yargul Unseen Village. And we're going to continue our next stage infancy in regards to that particular section. So we'll there's a key there I want to find, and then I think as soon as I find that key, I'm going to stop the stream there because I want to get a measure of an idea of what I'm going to do the next time I do play. Oh! Yeah, I have to remind you to add, I have to remind players that in the event you do get killed, just bear in mind that you can go back and get your echoes. Thankfully, I didn't have a lot to lose there. But the important thing is to take into account is when the moon is red, enemies are going to be ever more stronger. Just like they got stronger at night, they get stronger with the moon being low. Motherfucker! Give me your heart. Now, the thing to remember is that even if you kill these fuckers, they're just gonna keep porting back. Apparently, there's this magic is basically becoming more and more pronounced, where it just keeps resurrecting them. So over here on this body, behind this gargoyle here, you'll find a bloodstone chunk. Head down the steps here. And just go ahead and get this asshole nut job with his gun out of here. Over here on this body, you'll find the iron helm, which basically is part of the village outfit that we acquired earlier. This is just another version of the helmet. Nothing really of consequence of that regard. So here there is a drop shaft basically going down. It's an elevator. We won't really need to worry about doing that yet because we can't. It will kill us if we try to go down there. So what we will do, though, is we will proceed up and around this passage. If they drop anything, be sure to grab it. Now it's important to just run past them at this point because we're going to get a shitload of enemies here that are basically going to be engaging us. What we want to do is get rid of that bell-ringing witch right there, which is making these guys make an appearance. which, without the bell-ringing woman in this position right here, basically the spell has been broken. So, effectively, their effectiveness is kind of weakened, but it's not terribly, terribly impacted. So, we're still going to need to contend with the enemies. Obviously, the reason why I ran past all those guys is basically because of the simple fact of we're being ambushed. We actually have this freaking bug asshole above us as well. So, we really cannot afford to get caught in overlapping fields of attack. So what we will do, though, is now we will go about dispatching them all, and avoid getting grabbed by him. But once we've gone about that and taken that care of that problem, inside here we'll find that basically we're slowly but surely going to make our way to the area in question that we need to be at. Now, before we go out there, we're going to go ahead and open this cell here. And over here on this body, we'll find a bolt damp blood gem. If you haven't gotten any of these crescent moon gems yet, this is basically this instancy where you're going to start finding some of them. Now, heading out here, you'll hear a bunch of witches or hags, basically village females, whatever, having a bit of a canary. Inside here, continue to follow the path. We got another bell-ringing woman, as you can hear, basically luring us into a trouble. She's summoning trolls now. So their power basically goes up the lower the moon lowers. But it's okay. Thank goodness I got this really powerful fireblade cleaver. Go ahead and open the door, and inside we're just gonna head over here, run past them, and immediately engage the bell-ringing woman. Ooh, now that would have hurt. So with the bell-ringing woman dead and her phantoms as well, we can now grab the quicksilver bullets she dropped, and we can actually open up another path, which will give us easy access, so we want to go the long way around. Just immediately dispatch them right there. But we're going to go back up instead, and we're going to go through and over here to this body, and we will find the air rune. The air rune basically will give us another level of increased echoes for visceral attacks. So we'll improve that when we go back to the Hunter's Dream. Right now we're going to continue with our sweep into the next area. Let's see how we open this door. Here it is. So head into here and then grab off the body some frenzied cold blood. And then we're going to head out this doorway here. And to our right, we will have some villagers, which we will take care of. Man, you girls are mad. I didn't choose to stay here, you did. Dude, that is just so fucking weird. Little tongue tendrils, little brainy little skull with hair sticking out of it. That's just so fucking bizarre. Ugh. Yeah. I don't know why I came down here. Oh, as you can see, these bitches will continue, like I said, the enemies will continue to respawn. So basically, you can really not... There's really nothing to be gained. You can kill them with one time and you'll get echoes from them, but after that, they'll just burn resources and do damage. So you just want to get through there as fast as possible. But the real measure of it is you want to get rid of the witch. So to do that, you need to go over here very quietly and slow and just drop down on this little balcony here. You can't really get here outside of any other way. Go ahead and kill the troll before he ambushes you from your right. And then right here is the next bell bitch. Bitch! Now once you dispatched her, all enemies in the vicinity will take a reduced level of strength. And then with that, over here, inside this chest, you will find the Tiny Tantris. The Tiny Tantris is a unique little sub-weapon. It's like the Tantris, except it's tiny. Well, it has a unique effectiveness of basically you slamming it on the ground and it sends an electric arc that is like a lightning rod all the way across the level. So I'm going to go ahead and equip it just for this particular instance so you can see how it works. Yeah, it's like a lightning... It's like basically a... Think of it as like a mace. An electrified mace. That's what they call tantrises. So I'll have it equipped and I'll use it here in a bit. That's the weapon I used when I took down the spider enemy. Oh, hello, girl. Alright, well, we got a volunteer. Just like that. You know, I'm not gonna lie. That actually is that's a pretty badass looking weapon. I've actually never really used it beyond the one a few times, but I've actually now I can see it's actually pretty strong when you use it right with the right arcane build. Now the reason why I came back this way is because actually down below us is actually a hidden area. Now this enemy here, a choir member, has a key, the upper cathedral key. Now, if you remember the Healing Church's workshop, there was a door above us that we couldn't open. This door will take us there. So we have a secondary, another area, and a optional area to explore, and an optional boss fight to enjoy. Well, 2 optional boss fights. So we have our key now. So we're going to go ahead and see what exactly... I think the next thing will be is to go back up and into the next peripheral area, which will take us further along the path to our next lantern, which I think we get another lantern in the future, so I'm going to go ahead and keep going on this course before we head back to the Hunter's Dream. As you can see, the fucking asshole with his eyes is proceeding to act like he's Tony Stark and try to laser me. Before we head down those stairs, though, we're going to go ahead and grab the bloodstone chunk off this body back here. Now, how we're going to do this, basically, we need to basically just run, like, stay away from the air arc area where he blasts his laser, and then basically follow that path away from that particular area. So there we have our one initial instance, so we're just going to run it down here. And then here we are. And there we have our lantern. So we will definitely take advantage of this little doodad here, and then we're going to head back to the Hunter's Dream. Now that we have pretty much done that, we're going to see about going about the next stage of our exploration, which will entail us going to Cathedral Ward again. This will take us to the next particular area, the side area, a side exploration that we can actually enjoy, which will be the Upper Cathedral Ward. Or in this case, the Choir Sanctum. So right away, as soon as we get to the Cathedral Ward, we're going to go ahead over here, and we're going to call down the elevator. And then immediately just engage the enemies, lying out here, looking for a fight, like always. Motherfucker. So once we dispatch the enemies, we're gonna, same thing from Pitch, climb the stairwell, deal with these threats. And wait for the troll to approach us. We'll dispatch him easy. Guy keeps shooting that big goddamn gun. He's just gonna fucking make himself fall to his death. Dumbass. I mean, you can see every time he fires that gun, it literally inches him back further and further and further. He's gonna go right off the edge of the balcony. So once we dispatch them, climb the ladder back to that doorway that we were at before. You know, the one where we found the Radiant Sword Hunter badge. Now, a few things we're going to need here. Number one, we're going to go ahead and equip the sedatives. We're also going to equip the blue elixir. We're also going to equip the beast blood pellet. And we're going to also equip equip the rifle spear. And I think we're good. So once we get to this door, we're going to open the Upper Cathedral Ward key. And we have reached the Upper Cathedral Ward. These little slug things are basically like Great One children. So basically they are kind of like a threat. They will cause frenzy with their little bites or their little poison spit. So you want to not let them get you with that, because they will kill you or cause frenzy enough to kill you. Here we have 2 church servants. You would think they were cute with your little creepy shit. Look at these fucking things. I don't want these things touching me. They look like they got suckers on their face from a fucking octopus, and they're all slimy and shit. Oh, don't you fucking start, Mel. So there we have our lantern. Mel, you got the worst timing in the world, dear, because I'm getting ready to end my stream. You'll have to rewind the action to see some of what I've done. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that's right. My bad. I forgot you got the lag. Well, why the fuck didn't you say hi? No lurking. You know how I feel about that. Frosty knows. You should know too. My goodness. Shame on you. Being all ninja and shit. So now we'll head back to the Hunter's Dream. Of course you do. You both do. Shame on you. So, in any case, we pretty much have accomplished a lot. We basically have conquered the Vom, the vacuous spider. We have navigated the Forbidden Woods. We have worked out the secrets of Byrgenwerth. We found the Yargul Unseen Village. And we are now making our early infancies of entry into the Upper Cathedral Ward. And we completed not 1, but 2 quest lines, that of Voltaire of the Confederates, as well as Aileen the Crow. The next time I play, I probably will pursue a Chalice Dungeon layup, but I probably will only do that after we finished our navigation and our exploration of the Upper Cathedral Ward. Very pleased with this. I think I got a lot achieved. I think the next couple of roundabouts will basically see me sort of getting into the full nitty-gritty of the Chalice Dungeons. I also have to remember that I also, before finishing this playthrough, I want to go about finishing the DLC, which I haven't started yet. But in the DLC, there is even more cool weapons and even more wild-ass outfits that I'll get to do. There's also 1, 2, 3 of the hardest... Correction. Not 3, but... I gotta do a count. I mean, fuck me. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, I think 4 of the hardest boss battles in all of Bloodborne, and 2 of them are some of the hardest battles in all of the Soulsborne series. The Orphan of Kos being 1, and it's kind of debatable. I'm not really sure I can choose one. It's either Ludwig the Accursed, not Ludwig the Accursed, or Lawrence the First Vicar. So we're kind of at a cusp of that point where we're basically going to be coming up on that. So, but all in all, I'm very pleased with it. I'm just very glad that we got through it as much as we did. I probably will do more in the future. It's only 4 o'clock, but I'm still not feeling 100%. I'm still coming off this damn head cold, and I'm not feeling too well. So I may take some pain meds, for my headache. I got one, and I may give it a shot at probably taking a little bit of a nap. Tomorrow I have to go into my little therapies, so it'll be nice to actually get some fresh air. Seems to be easier to breathe in the cold air than usual, but we'll see how far I get. But in any case, I appreciate it. Oh, I know, you better get some food, love. And again, thank you so much. Thank you for the Christmas card. You've been a sweetheart. Mwah. I'm always very grateful for that. But all things considered, I am very pleased with that, and hopefully I will be able to do more in the coming days. Maybe I'll do one tonight. Who knows? If I take a nap and I wake up at the witching hour, probably 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll have just enough time. Excuse me. Just enough time to do a stream. So if you're in luck, Frosty, I'll be on. Or if you prefer, I'll hit you up on Teams or Discord or whatever the fuck, and I'll let you know. Mel, you too, dear. So, and you, I gotta watch out for you. You creeping in the shadows. That's my job. But in any case, thank you very much for tuning in with Bloodborne. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you have any comments or likes, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'll answer them as best I can. Feel free to like and subscribe to this video, and I will get back to doing more of this in the process of that. I'm looking forward to this. I'm back to a regular routine. I'll probably go so far as to show you what I got for Christmas, which will always be good. So, yeah, I bet they are. So, in any case, you guys have a great night. I hope you had a great Christmas. And I will be back here in the future to continue our live stream coverage of our first playthrough of Bloodborne. Savage Squishy 86, and I'll see you next time.